Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Tonight I would like to continue coloring in this Chibi Animal Girls book by Sunlife Drawing for the Charming Chibis color along that I am co-hosting for the month of July along with Zoe Archer and Samantha Oswald, and I will link their YouTube channels down below in the description. I will also link this book and any products that I am coloring with. Right now I was coloring with the Statler dual tip markers. Love these, but I may also incorporate some colors from the Shuttle Art fine liners. This is a set of 100 fine liners, so may also use some from that set. So we were coloring up this cute little chibi mousy girl, and I thought I would continue with her. Now, I didn't get any replies from you guys from part one as to whether you thought these were blueberries or not, so that's what I'm going to make them. So, what would be a good blueberry color? Let's go with 38. That looks like a good blueberry color. Normally, I wouldn't have to have my light on up above yet. I'm using my ring light, so it's not too bright. But we do have some rain coming. So it is starting to get a little dark outside already. And it is only not even 7:30. So normally it, isn't getting dark until like 8:30 yet. Let's zoom you in a tad. How's that? So, how is everybody doing today? I am recording this on Tuesday evening, and it has just been gorgeous up here. I don't know where you guys are at, but I'm assuming, from what I hear, it has been extremely hot in the south. Oh, these pens are so juicy. The ink, well, doesn't drip out of them, but you can see it on the page as you color with it that they're so juicy. But up here, it's been like mid-80s and sunny. Just beautiful. The humidity is starting to get high, though. It started getting pretty hot today, and I didn't turn on the air. I maybe should have just left the windows open because there was a nice breeze. This morning there wasn't, but then mid-morning started kicking in, so it stayed relatively nice in here till maybe supper time. It started getting quite hot, but I thought, doesn't pay to turn the air on now and have it, run for how long trying to cool off the house, only to have, the air outside start cooling off once the sun started going down and once this storm started moving in, because it's supposed to start taking some of the humidity out of the air. So I thought it didn't pay to turn the air on for that. So we'll just suffer for a little bit. Because it was getting like 83 or so in the house here. And yeah, kind of sticky. But much rather have this than freezing to death. So I am thoroughly enjoying it. Bought Maddie a pool, so did remember to get that out. Maddie and I, as a matter of fact. Oh, there's such a nice breeze blowing in the patio door here. Feels so good. Yesterday morning, which was Monday, because I forgot to get it out Sunday night and put some water in it so the water was nice and warm for her. I realize that's kind of bright for blueberries, but that's okay. So we went down in the basement, got the pool up the steps because it was quite big and quite awkward. It wasn't heavy at all, but it was kind of awkward. I'm going to get out the I am going to get out the Shuttle Art fine liners, and I'm going to go in here with like a dark green, I think. I'm going to use 74 pine green, or is it a bright? No, it's a brighter green on the ends, isn't it? Yeah, let's go with a 69 light green. And I just gave them these names. 69. I think I did. I don't remember anymore. And why did I lose connection? Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay. I don't know. Hopefully, I won't be losing all of this recording. So, I'm going to go in here with this. I love these Shuttle Art fine liners. For some reason, I like them much better than the Arteza fine liners. I just find them much juicier and not as scratchy. So I really like to color with these. Let's see, and some up here. So yeah, we got the pool out. I had to get let's find a green for in there. I had to get the hose wasn't even hooked up out back yet. So I had to get that out of the garage. Get that out back, and then I had to go back in the garage, find the little black hose that attached from the hose reel that stands on the ground. What attached from the hose reel to the faucet on the outside of the house. Managed to find that and got it all hooked up. Tried to find as flat of a piece of land, the area of the lawn and back, as I could. Because, yeah, it all looks flat until you put a pool on it and you start filling it with water. You see how not flat it is. So, I have it up close to the patio, but not so close that, because my patio is all made out of rock. And I wouldn't want her to jump out of the pool and slip or something and then end up cracking her head open on the patio or anything. So I left her out far enough. I think I'm going to use the Shuttle Arts on this too. And I'm just going to make it like a brown. I'm not sure if that's what they are or if they're green, but I think I'm going to make them a red brown 90. I shouldn't even say the color names because they're probably totally wrong. But again, these are the names that I gave them. Just because I like giving colors on my color charts, I always like to put, and I know the light is shining here, not only a number that corresponds with the number I put on the pen with my label maker, but I like to give each one a color name too. So, okay. So yeah, was filling it all up with water, and of course Maddie had to help with all of that. When there's water involved, you know the kids gotta help. All kids like water. So yeah, we got that all filled, and of course she had to play with it right away. And so she was in that water even though it was freezing cold. I'm like, well, if you want to walk around in it, go ahead. And so she did. she didn't, sit down or really, play a whole lot, but we were out there for quite a while yesterday morning, and this was as soon as she got here at 9:30, because the sun was actually getting quite warm then already. And so yeah, we were out there quite a bit yesterday morning, and then came in, made lunch. She actually took just a short nap, which was fine. And then we went back out there before supper. And by then, the water had warmed up quite a bit because it had been in the sun then all them hours. So, yeah, it had warmed up. But by the time we went out there after her nap, due to my nice big red maple out back, the pool itself was in the shade, so I didn't have to put sunscreen on her again or nothing. She was in the shade, and she always brings her little dollies down, as she calls them. Don't you dare call them babies, because they're not babies. So she had to bring her dollies in the pool, and she played with those for a long time. And I sat on the lawn swing and talked with her while she played. It was so much fun, relaxing. I enjoyed being out there. I'm getting quite a good tan, but my tan, you can just connect the dots much better during the summer. Just more freckles. A little bit more color, but probably more pink than brown. My legs are even starting to get tan though, which is unusual for me, because then she didn't want to get out of the pool. She was in there when Mom came. Heather always texts me when she's ready to leave work and she's on her way, so I tried to get Maddie out of the pool. Well, she wanted nothing to do with that. Let's go with 86. Yeah, she wanted nothing to do with getting out of that pool. And she had a pull-up on. I finally, this was shortly before Heather got here, finally talked her into getting out. Oh my heavens, I laughed so hard at her because that pull-up was so waterlogged. This girl could hardly walk. I think that pull-up weighed 10 pounds. Oh gosh, because it absorbs so much water. Oh, it was so funny. I think I'm going to go with a real dark green on these. Let's go with 55. And yeah, she waddled over to me. And she could barely get her legs over the side of the pool. And yeah, I laughed and laughed and laughed, and she's just looking at me like, what is so funny? So finally, I get that off of her, come in the house, and I get a fresh pull-up on her, and she didn't want to get her clothes back on, and by this time Heather was here. And she says that's okay. She can go home in just her pull-up. It was so warm out anyhow. But yeah, that was hilarious. And the other funny thing she pulled yesterday, I've had comments from a lot of you guys. You like my funny Maddie stories, so. The next door neighbor, her son was up on her roof with a power washer. Well, it wasn't a true full-fledged power washer. It was mainly the hose and spray nozzle on, the jet stream. So it sprayed real hard. And I didn't know either what he was doing up there. And I said something to Janice, and she told me that, we have a lot of maples up here, and they have them little windmill seeds that come twirling down out of the trees in spring. And they clog up our gutters like crazy. And so a couple of hers were getting all clogged up. So then when it rains, the water goes over the top of the eave rather than having it come down and out the downspout down below. So he was up there spraying out her eaves troughs and getting all those maple twirly birds out. But Maddie seen him up there. And she goes, "Santa Claus, ho, ho, ho." I go, "That's Santa Claus up on the roof, huh?" "Yeah, ho, ho, ho." Oh, how her little mind works is just so hilarious. And then my next door neighbor was on the lawn down below. She was, turning on the hose for him and stuff up there. And Maddie said she was going to get all wet. Brr. Because the water was all cold. So she was going to be brr. She must have been remembering about her cold water in her pool yesterday morning. Oh, such a funny kid. She is hilarious. So yeah, we had some funny excursions this week already with Maddie. Now, I'm only going to have them, the kids, 3 days this week again. I had mentioned, I believe it was in my prior color-in chat, that my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law, wasn't doing so well. She had had a massive stroke and wasn't expected to make it. She had been battling cancer for a few years and made it through the first time, but then it came back, and I think I'm going to go to the other end. And wasn't doing as well. And then she had this massive stroke, and she did end up passing away last Thursday on the 4th of July. My ex-husband was up there at the time, and they were watching a movie together, I guess. And even though she was sleeping, Steve stayed up there to watch the movie with her, and I guess at the very end of the movie, I have no idea what movie they were watching, but I guess there was somebody riding off into the sunset, and right after that, he heard his mom take her last breath. So she stayed technically awake, or, here throughout the movie, and then decided it was time to join Gordon, her husband, my ex-father-in-law, who had passed away a number of years ago now. Must be 4 or 5 years ago already. And so, yeah, her funeral is now this Thursday. So Heather has that day off, and I am going to also go to the funeral. I went to my ex-father-in-law's funeral because I still get along with that family really well. Even though I got divorced, Steve and I are still, pretty good friends. I invite him over for Christmas and stuff. I don't feel anybody should have to spend Christmas alone, and all the kids and stuff are here for a Christmas luncheon, and There's always plenty of food, so why not, right? Okay, so yeah, have that on Thursday. Not looking forward to that because, like everybody, yeah, you know, nobody enjoys funerals. Alrighty, so okay. Now this would, boy, there's going to be a lot of wood in this picture. Let's do the curtains first. And let's go with a nice bright color because we're going to have so much brown. This is all tree back behind her, and then, you know, this looks like wooden slats up here. And then we got all the wood down here. So the only other part that's not wood are the curtains, because around the windows this is all wood. Looks like twigs, kind of. So let's go for a pretty color of curtains. Let's see. How about a pretty lilac? 26. Let's do that one. Alrighty. So, yeah, my week is actually going pretty good. Maddie's been having me laughing. Today, oh sure, that's the wood. Darn it all. Wasn't watching. Okay, curtains must go all the way over, yeah. That's all the way over by the spine. Nobody will see that. Just don't tell anybody. You wouldn't tell anybody I did that, would you? But yeah, she had a little bit of a spell today. Of course. Even though you laugh at them, they gotta have their bad moments too. But thank heavens, the good moments, the funny moments are starting to outweigh the bad. But she, even though she wanted to go out swimming this morning, she really didn't even hardly get wet. And she decided she wanted to go on the east side of the house because I've kind of told y'all how big of a hill I have on that side that I have to mow all the time. Well, she likes that hill and my front lawn because she likes to roll down it. So she has this teddy bear that Bob had gotten for her when she was a baby, and she just adores that teddy bear. That teddy bear's got to go everywhere. So teddy bear was out with us the whole while she's in the pool. Has to sit on the swing with me so I can watch her in the pool. And then she'll take the arms and she'll fling it over her back or over her head so it's on her back. And so she's like giving it a ponyback ride. And she walks around with Teddy on her back like that. Well, she wanted to take him over on the east side of the house so she could roll him down the hill and she could roll down the hill. Well, today she wanted to do that again. That was yesterday. Now, today she wanted to do it again, and I'm like, oh, you know, I thought you wanted to come out here so that you could go swimming. I had Bella on this great big, you know, tie out, so I didn't have to hang on to the leash. Well, I had to take her off the tie out, and I had to hang on to that. That's like a coated wire. So I wrapped that around my hand, and we went on the side of the house. Well, this tie out, you know, green, it's kind of like coated metal, was laying on the ground because Bella was, you know, a ways away from me, and she kept wanting to step on it and follow it along. So she kept going sideways, stepping on it, which was fine. I mean, that was no big deal. But as she got closer and closer to Bella, she kept, you know, kind of yanking Bella's head down. And I said, you can't do that. I said, you're going to hurt Bella. Well, she kept doing it. So I had to yell at her. Well, she didn't like that. And she went huffing off. So I went around the house and I kind of watched her, and I seen her go into the garage. So I went with Bella and I peeked in. I said, there she was standing in the garage. I said, what are you doing? Nothing, leave me alone. Had her arms crossed. It's like, ooh, she's getting an attitude. Nothing, leave me alone. Oh, spunky little thing. I said, Heather, you're going to have your hands full. They had gone camping this last weekend. And, yeah, Heather being like 8.5 months pregnant, and she goes camping for the weekend. She's lucky nothing happened, because they were out of cell phone range and everything where they were. I mean, they were a ways out. Adam was extremely happy nothing happened. But Maddie got mad at something. I guess something to do with some stick that they were throwing to the dogs in the water for them to fetch. And they were done doing that, and Jaden got the stick or something like that, and Maddie wanted it, or I don't know. She went huffing off. Went on the other side of Dad's truck. And Heather went over to peek at her too, and she's like, you know, like I said, what you doing? Nothing, leave me alone. Heather's like, are you mad? Yes, leave me alone. I said, yeah, you're gonna have your hands full, like she doesn't now, you know. Oh, I don't know how that girl does it the way it is. How she is going to do it with Jaden and some of his problems, with his ADHD and anger management issues at times, and then, you know, Maddie just turning 3 and having normal 3-year-old tantrums and demands, and then she's going to have this newborn. Oh. But I guess I did the very same thing when I was her age, so I even had mine closer together. My youngest two weren't even 2 years apart, so I had 2 in diapers at the same time too. And although we are still working on Maddie with potty training, but when she's outside so much, it's kind of hard to do when she's swimming and stuff. So, like Heather said when they were camping too, it's just, you know, just kind of hard. So, she may not be totally potty trained by the time the baby's born. She may end up having it induced in a couple weeks. So, we will finally be able to find out whether this is a little guy or a little girl in there, because they opted not to find out. Unusual these days. You almost always know whether it's a boy or a girl nowadays. And they kind of decided on a girl's name, and it's so ironic. For those of you that have been hearing my ongoing, I think I'm going to go with a Shuttle Art fine liner in here. My ongoing bird stories with the mourning doves. I'm going to go with Light Coffee 89. See, where did I get these color names from? I don't know. 89. Adam is so positive that this baby is going to be a little girl. So they have decided on a little girl's name, and it's going to be Emily, most likely, or Alyssa, but they really like Emily. And I just had to laugh because I said, that's what I named Mama Morning Dove. And she goes, I know. She goes, ever since you said that name, I fell in love with it. So yeah, it's because of the mourning doves. My grandchild may be named Emily. I do like that name. I like Alyssa too. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, and Adam agreed on that one. He liked Emily too. But they have not come up with a boy's name, because Adam is so sure it's a girl. And every time Heather would bring up, boy's name and ask him what he thought about that, she really wouldn't get a yay or a nay out of him. So, yeah, if it's a boy, I don't know what they're going to do. They'll have to decide spur of the moment, I guess. Either that or you do hear every once in a while yet, baby coming home with no name. Which to me would be really hard, because then you don't have the birth certificate filled out. You normally automatically get the Social Security number and everything when you're in the hospital yet. So it's nice and convenient. But the poor little thing don't have a name yet. Can't do any of that. So I hope they do come up with a name within, or a boy's name anyhow, within the next few weeks. They got a whole 2 weeks to decide. So, trying to decide what's going to happen with Maddie and stuff while she's up there. Because, Adam said he'll periodically have to go back home, because they have the 2 labs that they're going to have to, let out at least a few times a day to go potty. But again, that's, hour from me, and, about 45-minute drive from Wausau. So, I mean, it's going to, it's not like just a hop, skip, and a jump to get home. So, we'll see. He's thinking she could just, stay with him at the hospital when he's down there. But like Heather said, that could be, 6-7 hours, especially in the beginning. And I'm going the wrong way. Darn it. Well, I'm going to do this darker wood, so I'm just going to do this next week. Boy, I'm talking and not paying attention. No, I lost my train of thought. Oh, she was thinking that Maddie would not do too well up there for that length of time, and I have to definitely agree. She would be getting pretty antsy, and Heather don't want to listen to that when she's just had a baby and wants to kind of, give the baby her full attention for a little bit while she can. You're in the hospital for only that day, so just, relax and rest as much as you possibly can, because nowadays you have the baby right in your room with you, so you don't get to rest as much as what you used to be able to when they would keep the baby in the nursery and just bring him or her to you when it was time to feed him or her. But yeah, so we shall see what happens. Otherwise, I may have Maddie during that time, and we'll see what happens with Jaden. Otherwise, depending on what day it is, his mom could help out too, because she doesn't work on Fridays. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll work something out. We always do, and so it's just be nice to work out a plan now. She has nothing ready at home. I said, Heather Marie, I mean, you could go into labor at any time. She goes, yeah, well, then I'll throw something in a bag. And they don't even have a crib set up or a bassinet or anything yet. I said, what are you waiting for? I just haven't had the time. I said, well, you better make some time, girl. Good heavens. But I mean, I kind of know how that goes. I was always so excited, though, to, you know, get up the crib, and I am always one to plan things. I am a list maker. When I was married, and we would go camping every summer with the kids, and we tented it. We didn't have a camper or anything. So you really got to plan ahead. And I would have lists for absolutely everything. I'd have a list for myself of clothes and things. I'd have a list for food, a miscellaneous list. I'd have a list for each kid. List for Steve, because he wouldn't make a list. He wouldn't, you know, he wouldn't think about it ahead of time either. Typical guy, you know. So yeah, I would have, and I still am a huge list maker. I like to have lists for everything. I know what's going on. I am a planner. I am not real spontaneous at all. So yeah, I don't like to wait till the last minute for anything. I mean, not saying I can't be flexible. You know, if Bob decides we should all of a sudden maybe go and do something, we will definitely go and do something. But for the most part, we plan things out. America's Got Talent is on right now, and I love that show. But I knew I had to get this second part up. I was going to do it this morning, and Bella actually let me sleep in. And like I've mentioned in the past, it takes me a while to wake up. And then with the kids coming at 9:30, I like to, you know, go on YouTube and catch up on things and go through my emails and, you know, just all that kind of stuff. So by the time I do all of that, there's not a whole lot of time to just sit and relax and, you know, till the kids get here. So I ended up not recording this. I was going to at least try to get, you know, like an hour or so recorded of it, so I would only have to record some of it tonight, but that didn't happen. I did get the Wii color flip through done this morning, so that I got up on my channel. That was a short video. So do want to do a color and chat out of that. And I have a number of color and chats planned. Definitely want to get back at that Johanna Basford book and finally color some more with my Prismacolors in that book. Been putting that off for forever. So yeah, want to get back at that. What else did I have on my to-do list? There were a number of things. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure how much, you know, how long I'm going to be at the funeral and what's all going to happen there on Thursday. Otherwise, maybe I'll get some recording done on Thursday, and then hopefully some on Friday. I did manage to actually get in a Copic class last Sunday. And again, I wasn't real pleased with it, but I'll show you. I'll zoom back out. I'll show you. Oh shoot, now that it's stopped. Oh, here we go. I'm not going to be able to zoom back out. Oh crap. Okay, I'm just going to have to, I think what I'm going to do, so I'm going to pause here so that later I'm going to be able to zoom back out. And I'm going to get this resituated, okay? So I will be right back. Alrighty, I am back. I think I have everything fixed. I apologize for the past few videos. When I was doing some flip throughs, the lines, you know, even though these are lighter line art, the flip through videos, the lines looked real blurred and stuff, didn't they? And I think what was happening, and I think possibly the first part of this video before I paused, I might have been recording with the front camera on my iPhone rather than the back side, and the rear camera is a higher pixel than the front. And I don't know why I was putting my phone up in my holder that way. Now I am recording with the rear facing camera, so hopefully if I was recording with the front facing for the first part, I apologize. I was going to show you what I did for my second class. I really didn't like, well, I was told do not speak negatively. Speak what you liked about it positively. So I like how the moon turned out. Then we used the colorless blender to do, you know, the light dots and stuff in here. We blended some color together and added some white gel pen, blended stuff, you know. And she actually gave us a cloud template. It's kind of like a stencil. And so we used that, drew with, you know, pencil and followed it along and then erased them, but it was enough where you could see where it went. And then, you know, we blended colors together and then went light to dark up here. So I guess overall it doesn't look too bad. There are definitely some aspects of it I don't care for. Her dress on top, definitely, because not one, but I had two of my Copics not explode, but every once in a while you'll get a Copic marker where it all of a sudden lets out a bunch of ink and you get a blob on your paper. And one was down here, I tried to fix it, and one was right here and it ended up going on her skin. But if I zoom in you can probably see it more. But and so I wasn't even going to finish the top, and I thought, well, it'll give me some more practice with shading and whatnot. But you know, her hair definitely did not turn out like I wanted, but yeah, there are some aspects of it. I like how the bottom of her skirt turned out. And overall, now, as I see the clouds, I was really disappointed at the time, but, you know, I look back at it now, and I guess it looks okay. So, yeah, that was the last Copic class that I took. And then we can reuse this, you know, cloud template stencil for other pictures. So yeah, I spent all day Sunday doing that. Many hours. But again, Elise from Kitten Clouder is just such a fantastic instructor. Step by step by step. You have a booklet you print out, and then you have a video to watch for each aspect of that picture. So yeah, it takes quite a while to get through, but again, so nicely explained. So anyhow, enough of showing that. Let's get back to this picture. I'm not sure what's going on inside the house. If this is supposed to be like wainscoting, you know what I mean. And then this must be a curtain rod up on top, right? So maybe we'll make that gray to look like silver, and I think I'm going to use the Shuttle Art fine liners for that. So let's get a light gray. 95, and it is getting dark in here. Woohoo! It's getting kind of hard for me to see, even though it looks okay on camera because I have the ring light on up above. So on camera it looks okay, I guess. I hope it does. I hope it's not too dark. It is now 8 o'clock, so we'll make this look like a curtain rod. Normally you wouldn't see the curtain rods from outside, but in this house you do. So then we'll have to decide on a wall color, and we'll make this brown because it kind of does look like wainscoting. I do like how this snail turned out. Those Copic classes are just, you know, such a different medium for me to use to blend and stuff. I have worked with colored pencil before as far as blending and things, so even though I don't work with colored pencil a lot now anymore because I like markers and my gel pens so much, you know, I still kind of know how to do it. But the Copic blending, oh my gosh, that's a total different beast when you try to do pictures like that. Okay, so yeah, I want to get some different browns. These 3 browns I want different. So I think before we do that though, we're going to do the inside of the house. So let's get, I'm going to go with a light and a mid brown in here. I think I'll go back to the Statlers, at least for the bigger, well, maybe not. Let me see how many. I have more browns in the fine liners. Let's go with, let's see. I think I'll go with leather 88 and 87 and 88. 57 and 88. Okay, so now I think I'll do the lines darker. And yeah, I'm really confused as to how this goes, but so we'll just guess. We'll see if we actually get any rain out of this or not. Could actually use some rain. Last storm that came through, we hardly got anything, so it was just real spotty showers. We always miss out on the good thunder boomers, and we heard it's because of, well, they call it Rib Mountain over by Wassa to the east of us. It's technically not a mountain because it's not high enough to classify as a mountain. So it is actually a hill, but they call it Rib Mountain. The ski hill up there is called Granite Peak because we have so much granite in the area. I'm assuming that's why it's called that. We have so many gravel pits around here where they go and, you know, dig out all the gravel out of the earth, and then once they've gotten down so far, well, as they're digging, they have to constantly pump out all the water, because as you dig down and remove all this granite, all this water filters in. So now we got to get a wall color. So I'm going to go back to the Statlers. I think I'm going to do a real pale lilac in the background. So 21. Back to the steppers. 21. So when they're done getting all of the concrete out of there, then they just let the water fill it all in. And so there are huge ponds around here. I don't know if you're in your area of the country whether you have a lot of granite or not, but around here there's a lot of granite. And then some areas, like when I was married and we built our house, some areas like out there is a lot of clay. So, of course, water does not seep through clay like it would granite. Granite is a natural kind of filtering system. So you can put in a normal septic system. Whereas when you have clay ground, you can't put in a natural, normal septic system. And then you have to go to a mound system, it's called. And with it being so clayey, if that's a word, out there, we couldn't even go to a mound system. So we had to go to holding tanks, which is a pain in the butt, because then every so often you have to have a service come out and pump your tanks. And you have an alarm system down in the basement that, you know, goes off when your holding tanks are getting so full. Well, they put the what do you call it? The sensor, I guess, down so far in the tank that this alarm would go off when those tanks were probably only like half full. So when those alarms would go off, we would wait a good month. We would record when they went off, and we would wait a good month before we called them to come pump out our holding tanks, because otherwise every month we would be having to have them come pump out our holding tanks, and they'd only be half full. So why do that? You know, it's just an added expense. You'd be paying twice as much. Alrighty, let's go with a dark brown for this so I can cover up my boo-boo. Two boo-boos, because I got this one way over here too where I was coloring the curtains. Must cover them up. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll go with 63. I am hardly able to see the numbers on my markers now because it's getting so dark over here. But I'm afraid if I turn, well, let's try it, my light on under the, yeah, see, that's way too bright, so I can't do that. So we'll just make do. I hope this is a different color than what I colored the window frame in. I should probably go with the bigger tip on this. Yeah, it is darker than the frame, but still. Let's see. So this is all part of the house down here. And I bet you I'm out of frame. Yep. Thought that was down too far. You know, when a person colors, you know, you're coloring and coloring. You're not, you know, you're just talking and you're not thinking of the camera. Okay, I'm getting things moving over here. Oh, that breeze is still blowing through the patio door, and yeah, it feels so good. It's not raining or anything yet, but it is getting dark, and I am gonna have to pause because I think my ring light, it's a rechargeable, but I think it is starting to go dead, so it's even getting dimmer in here. So I am going to have to pause and do some adjustments on my phone camera so that I can turn the lights on and not have it so glaring bright. I think we'll finish this wood up, and then I apologize, but I will have to pause once more. Oh yeah, good. This is a little bit darker brown than the window frames. Around the blueberries. So she must be relatively small too. Well, I suppose mice are kind of small, aren't they? Is it really hot by you guys? When I was listening to Zoe over in the UK, I guess it's been pretty warm over there too, so. And I know in the South it's been pretty darn hot. And now we're supposed to be way above normal next month or next week, I should say. For a change, we're supposed to be in the low 90s. Woohoo! But that means the air will be going on. There goes the electricity bill. Boy, on camera this looks black. Oh, I am so sorry. I just coughed into my mic. I don't know if it's the humidity or what, but my sinusitis has really been acting up, and that always makes me cough. And Midnight is actually managing to climb around all my markers over here on the right side so that he can come over by Mom. Yes? Yeah, I was talking about you. You gonna go sit over there? Oh no, here you are. Did you come headbutt me? Huh? Yes? Mama wants to quick get this part done so we can adjust the lighting. Yes? Can you stay out of the little bit of light that I have left? No, you can't? There you go. Thank you, buddy. I'm sure he'll be back. Yeah, we'll just finish this one down this way. I know I have some to go this way yet, but my light is dying. And again, I don't have an overhead light in this room. And now it is definitely too hot out for Bob to get up in the attic. Hey, you're rubbing on my marker. That is not helping Mom color. Nope, nope, nope. Mama's been making enough mistakes on this picture. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Well, there was a midnight coloring there. Now you really can't see, can you? Yeah, Midnight wants to help. Okay, let's zoom out. All you're seeing is a cat. Okay, we'll pause here then, seeing as how he wants some loving, and give him some loving, get some different lighting going, and I'll be back. Bye. Alrighty, hopefully this lighting is okay for you guys. I have the lights on way up there on both sides so it won't get too shadowy. So let's zoom you back in, and we shall continue now that I can see what the heck I'm doing. But now I notice my battery's getting low, and I did have an attachment for my phone where it was a dual, where I could plug in my microphone and plug in. It had a charging port too. You think I can find that thing anywhere? No, of course not. So I am definitely going to have to look for that, because when I do longer color and chats, of course when you're recording, that chews up your battery like crazy. Otherwise this phone battery lasts a long time, but yeah, when I'm recording, and it wasn't fully charged, of course, when I started this. I usually try to start off with a full battery, but I wanted to get this going, and yeah, phone wasn't fully charged, and I figured it would last me, but it is starting to get low. I still have like maybe 30% left though, so if I don't have enough, I guess I'll just have to pause for you guys, and for me, I'll have to go charge my phone up for a while and maybe continue this in the morning. But yeah, I actually can see what I'm doing now. So there are times when those lights up above work better than the lights under my desk. Because those lights are much farther away and don't shine so bright down on this white paper. And yet other times that the lights underneath my desk work just fine, so I don't know. They just try to be difficult. I noticed, I looked out to the north when I was paused, and it was getting quite dark to the north. Okay, let's do a light color there, and then I'm going to do this dark up above that strip. Let's see, what else was going on this week? How about that soccer team, the United States soccer team, winning the World Cup for the second year in a row? How awesome is that? And then suing because they make so much less than the men's soccer team, which is true. Why should they earn so much less because they're women, when they prove the fact that this last match that was televised on TV drew millions more viewers than what the guys' team did. So, yes, equal pay, hey? Right? So, I kind of have to agree with them. They're a pretty darn good team. And then there's that, oh gosh, what was her name now? Who beat Venus Williams in the Wimbledon. Oh gosh, I can't think of her name now. I mean, and she's only, what was she, 15 or 16? I mean, young girl. And wow, what a tennis player. Holy cow. Does she have a career ahead of her? Let's go with 60. Because, yeah, she's something else. I'm kind of glad in a way, maybe I shouldn't say this, but kind of glad in a way she lost this last round, though. I mean, there is no doubt, you know, everybody was rooting for her, except for her opponent. But, you know, I'm afraid if she would have kept winning, she would have kind of gotten a big head, maybe. Not all players are like that, of course, but I think for her first playing in Wimbledon and as well as she did, she's definitely going to have more chances, you know, to do well. She had to have eventually lost, you know. So I think it's, you know, it's kind of a good thing in one respect. Let's do this light brown under here too. But yeah, she's, wow, what a play. And you know, her idol was Venus Williams. Was it Venus or her sister? Gosh, I can't remember now. I think it was Venus Williams. You know, and she was this gal's idol. And to, you know, let alone play your idol at Wimbledon and then to beat her. Oh my gosh, that just had to have been such a surreal moment for her. Unbelievable. So, yeah, we got some fantastic athletes around here, don't we? So exciting. Did any of you guys watch the gals with that last soccer match? I did not. I think I was actually recording at the time because I believe I heard on TV, because I did have it on, I could hear it in the other room. And believe I heard when they made their first goal, because everybody was going crazy. Okay, I'm going to go with this light brown around each of the edges. I have a midnight hair here. He decided to go down now and let us color this page. Okay. Don't have a whole lot. Oh, I have some more hidden midnight hair in the corner here. It's the thing with having cats, right? They shed. And then when they clean themselves, they get that hair and they swallow it and they end up getting hairballs. And those hairballs have to go somewhere eventually. Unfortunately, they can end up on your floor. Okay, that's kind of gross. We won't talk about that. It's the worst part about having a cat. And the older they get, the worse it is. But the hairball remedies, you know, the stuff you give them, do help. Then I think I am going to go with a darker color for the shingles, if you want to call them that, themselves. So gosh, am I going to get this picture done tonight? Well, we will, one way or another. I may have to pause again to go charge up my phone, but I will be back. So that this color along is only 2 parts. Okay, I think we gotta go in here. And here, so I don't have to keep flipping you. I think I may just try to do this at a weird angle. Well, maybe we'll do the straight down ones and then I'll turn you and do all the side ones. The sideways ones. I'm not sure what this is up here. Is it like a chimney type thing that's coming out of the top? Or like a, I don't know. I think I'm going to color it in this light color too. I don't know what color I want to go with for the tree though. Maybe I'll decide on that first before I color this. Still have this wonderful breeze blowing in on me. So it is cooling off in the house. Oh darn, I didn't reopen all my windows in the bedroom. I like to open them before I go to, you know, during the day. So it cools off in there before I go to sleep at night. And then I close them part way because it can still get, you know, a little chilly at night. But I think tonight I'm going to leave them open unless it rains, and I may have to close them. Otherwise it feels so good laying in bed and feeling that breeze go across because my bed is kind of in between the 2 sets of windows. One is on the east side, and windows wise, one is on the east side and one's on the north side. So yeah, I get a nice cross breeze and it just feels so good. Almost feel like you're sleeping outside. Now hopefully for Bella we don't get strong thunderstorms. We're not really supposed to get strong ones though, so I love thunderstorms, but yeah, Bella not so much. All right, have that part done. Now we got to decide on a color for the roof itself. Maybe I'll go with a really light color because we have so much other. Oh no, I can't use that color because the snail is that color. And then I got the other color. Okay. Do you think that could kind of be like a thatched roof where I could go with a green? I'm running out of browns. And I don't want to go too dark because then you won't see kind of the difference in between. Let's see. What color haven't I used? Like in the snail. That I could maybe use in here. Maybe like 59. Let's try that and see. Let's go next to him and see. I think it's a different color than his shell. Well, kind of hard to tell with the fine tip because I'm going over it too much, so it makes it darker. Yeah, it's different. Okay. Alrighty, we'll go with that then. A little darker than, well, not a whole lot darker than that, is it? See, I wanted to go with light shingles then, but because of that guy, I can't. Well, what is 56? Oh yeah, that's the color of that. Okay. Well, guess we're going to have to go with this. Okay. Ran out of options. Alrighty. Get over into the spine. And yeah, again, because these are water-based, there's going to be some streaking. I noticed this last Monday when our garbage is always picked up every Monday, and then every other Monday is regular garbage and recycling, which is kind of odd because we now have more recycling than we have regular garbage. You know, all paper, all tin cans, and we crush our aluminum cans and take them in, so don't have any of that in recycling. But you know, all your paper, cardboard, glass, you know, everything's going in recycling. So just basically some, you know, food type products that can't go down the garbage disposal is all that goes in our garbage now, along with when the litter box gets cleaned out, that goes in there. But yeah, we definitely have more recycling now than regular garbage. And I noticed the neighbor this last Monday when it was recycling and regular garbage, just had regular garbage out and no recycling. And I was looking at that and I'm thinking, okay, how can you go for 2 weeks and not have a dumpster full of recycling? Because I guess that means you are not recycling everything that you should be. Or you would have a dumpster full to put out there. I'm assuming pretty much everybody has recycling, right? These days. How are things like that handled in the foreign countries from you guys that are in the UK, if you see this, or Canada, or wherever you are from? Is it similar to what the United States has? Even different areas of the country may have different policies on how their recycling is handled. Because I think I seen in New York how, you know, their garbage pickup and stuff is different than ours just because of the sheer amount, I'm assuming, of garbage from a huge city like that. What do they even do with all that garbage? They must have massive, massive landfills or something. I mean, we have some large landfills around here, but that's for all the communities around, so I cannot imagine what huge cities do with all their garbage. Interesting thought, huh? The things I ponder. It's amazing where a person's mind goes sometimes. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. Wanted more contrast between the edges of the shingles, or whatever you want to call these, and the actual tops of them, but you can kind of pick them out from up close. Probably not as much on camera, but oh, that's the other color in chat I want to do, is out of Sunlife Drawing's latest book, which is that World of Cats book. And because that is such a detailed book. Oh, it's the same color over here. I knew I'd run into problems. Anyhow, because that is such a detailed book too, that color in chat will also be a number of parts long. I don't know if I'm ever going to do another 4-hour color in chat. Probably not. But I will do, you know, 2, maybe once in a while, a 3-hour one. But I think I will split them up into 2-hour videos. So that one definitely will be multiple parts, could be even 3 parts. We shall see how fast it goes. Such a cute book, but yes, quite detailed, just like the World of Animal books. And just as a reminder, I do have the giveaway for the stencil book, the one color stencil book. It's out on my channel, the giveaway, and that will be ending, I gotta think now, on Thursday, Wednesday night, and then I'll draw the winner on Thursday, was it? Gonna have to go back and check. Again, good memory, but it's short. Bella, why are you hiding down by my feet? Do you sense the weather I believe it though. You know, animals can sense so much. I remember a story a number of years ago, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this story, where they had this cat in the nursing home, and it could always sense when one of the residents was going to pass away. And I believe it would, that night that the resident was going to pass, it would sit on that bed by the resident the entire night. And it always knew, because that person would pass away in their sleep. So they always knew when that cat went and sat on one of the residents' beds in the evening like that, that individual was going to be passing away. I mean, isn't that remarkable? And I don't think for as many times as this cat did it, that it was just coincidence. It couldn't have been. You know, and dogs can sense so much too, that I don't doubt that it had this keen awareness somehow. I have never heard of another cat that does this. You know, they had this resident cat that got to know all these people that lived there. Probably got to know what their systems were like, or, you know, I don't know. Kind of strange. Alrighty, we have to pick out one more brown for the tree. Alrighty. Now I could go with the dark up there again, but again, I don't want to. I wanted to go with a lighter one so that I could go with a dark brown and kind of do some of the lines with the darker brown. So I think maybe I'll go in with this. That would be pretty for a tree. And then the lines I could do with the dark. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's do that. That was that 60 or 61? They're very similar. Let's do 60. I think that was it. Okay. Now let's do the fine tip for around her here. Oh, that must be part of her hair. We'll have to go back and fix that. There were some kids when I was paused. I noticed over by the school, there was like a group of 5 of them, and they had something that I don't know. Oh no, this isn't hair. I don't know what it is. Didn't really look like a kite, but yet sort of did. And I thought, you guys really aren't going to attempt to fly that kite right now, are you? Because it's pretty windy out. I mean, yeah, I know you need a nice breeze to fly a kite, but if it's too windy, that's not good either. So, yeah, but I think they gave up on it because then they left. So, yeah, I'm not sure what they were doing. Because we do have that great big grassy area across the street here. And kids do go over there and fly kites. Sometimes successfully and sometimes not so successfully. A couple weekends ago there were some older kids that were trying to get this kite up in the air, but they would get it up in the air for just a little while and it would come back down. And this kid was not running to get it up in the air. I mean, typically when I know we did kites as a kid, you gotta kind of run to get them, you know, up in the air first, right? And yeah, he really didn't do that. So I'm surprised it got up in the air at all. So I don't know whatever happened with that. Last weekend with the 4th, there was a, I don't know if it was one family or if it was a group. I think it was a group of a couple families because there were quite a number of kids. And like, you know, 3-4 adults. So I think it was like a couple families. And they were playing kickball. All the kids were out in the outfield, and then there was one kicker, and the mom was the, what do you call her? Not the pitcher, the one that would roll the ball to the kicker. And it was after I was done mowing lawn, so I was sitting in the shade in a chair, and I was just kind of watching them play over there. It was kind of neat. They had a couple of the adults had folding chairs out underneath the trees that are right near that open grassy field area. And yeah, they were just chilling, having a good time, watching them play kickball. And then, well, I was done mowing lawn, so Bob had to take the clippings down to where he dumps them. And so I could see them across the street really well because he has a van when he has to take clippings down. And I was watching them play. Well, then Bob came back, parked in the garage or the driveway. So I couldn't see them all anymore. But shortly before he got back, I noticed, I don't know exactly what happened, because I must have been turned away at that time, maybe doing something with Bella, or I don't know. But evidently, one of the kids went down and must have went down hard because he could not get up. And after about 5 minutes, they ended up carrying him off the field, if you will. And yeah, he sat down for the rest of the while in one of the folding chairs, so couldn't tell if it was like his knee or ankle or I don't know, but I hope he was okay. Kind of ruined their fun. They did go back out and they were throwing the frisbee around. The other ones, this kid stayed sitting in the chair, so. But you would think if it would have been bad enough, they would have had to have left and taken him up to emergency or at least the walk-in, so. So hopefully it was just like a twist or, you know, something like that. Twisted ankle. Those can really hurt. I have done that a number of times. Can hear Jaden in the other room. I have my grandson for the night. Wanted to spend the night. And Heather has a checkup appointment in the morning because, you know, now with being so close to the end of her pregnancy, she has a checkup every week, and it's bright and early in the morning. So she's going to have the kids with her. Oh, it's raining out. Well, if it starts raining too hard, I'm going to have to go close the windows. We're almost done anyhow. What was I saying? Oh, I hate it when that happens. You lose your train of thought. Oh, Jaden being over. And yeah, so it actually works out good that he's overnight tonight so that he doesn't, Heather doesn't have to have him along too in the morning for that doctor's appointment. Still don't know what color I'm going to make that. Reminds me of an apple stem, but it's not that. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll just make it a really dark brown. Trying not to rush too much, but like I said, I know my battery's going to be dying. And I don't want to lose the end of the video. Long as I can see you guys, well, not you guys, long as I can see my coloring on my iPad yet, I know I'm okay. If it goes blank, then I know I went in low battery mode. And sometimes it continues to record, and sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it does, but the one time I assumed it didn't. And I lost the whole end of my footage. Not good, not good. Alrighty. So let's go, yeah, with a dark brown for that, whatever it is. Let's go with 66. That's a pretty dark brown. We'll go with the fine tip. Oh yeah, that's so dark it looks black. It's like a real dark chocolate brown, but okay, well, whatever that is, it's dark brown now. Actually, I want it, no, that's almost too dark. I was going to say I could do the lines in the trees with that, but no. Let's go with 63, I think. And fine tip for this. Oh, crap, yep. I went into low power mode, so I'm just going to quick do some of this. I am going to assume I am recording yet. Maybe I'm going to quickly, nope, I can't reconnect either, so I thought maybe I could reconnect in, even though I'm on low power mode. I should be okay for a little bit, but I can't see where I'm at now because I can't see on my iPad any longer. I'll just have to, at the very end, stand up and look at the top of my phone. It's about the only way. So we'll just real quickly do some lines in here. Darn, I thought it was going to last me. Almost done too. And I think my marker's going dry. Oh my gosh, the end of this video is not meant to be. Oh, there it goes. Wow. Problems, problems, problems. I was going to say, because I have not used these markers that much where it should be drying out. I don't know what the problem was. But I did want to get some lines in here. I'm going to re-go over these because, yeah, the marker wasn't working at all. Alrighty. I think we're going to leave it there. So, I can't even zoom back out. I'm going to move you up a little. And let me see if I can see you on camera and see if you're even in frame. Oh, it's really hard to tell. I apologize if you cannot see this whole thing because the top of the bracket of my phone is covering up the screen, so I can't really tell. But all right, so this is the finished picture. Again, I hope you can see the majority of it. So this again was from Chibi Animal Girls from Sunlife Drawing. It's anime and manga coloring. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, even with all the problems. I apologize. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new to my channel. I hope everybody's having a terrific week, and as always, happy coloring.